Imagine you and your bodies are having a chat right now. The subject of cryptocurrency is certain to come up at some time in this discussion. Now that cryptocurrencies are a hot topic, yet few people understand how they function. I'm here to fill in the knowledge gap. Hello everyone and welcome to Success Wisdom. In this video, we're going to talk about cryptocurrency explained for beginners 2022. If you are new to this channel, do like and subscribe to the channel. World money has played an important role in human history. When cavemen lived there, the barter system was prevalent. In the barter system, commodities and services are traded. The present issue involves a caveman trading 7 pesos for 8 apples. The barter system was abandoned due to these obvious weaknesses. One of these errors is permitting the demands of individuals to coincide. For instance, if your buddy has 5 apples and you have 5 peaches, you may request some of his apples until he has a need for them. Your buddy will not be interested in exchanging the peaches you have for them. Currently, there is no agreed upon method for measuring value due to the lack of a defined unit of measurement. It is challenging to determine how many peaches you are willing to exchange for an apple or an orange. Not all codes are divisible or subdivisible. If the items cannot be transported easily, for instance, you may split a live animal into many smaller components. Unlike current cash, which can be carried in a wallet or on a mobile phone, the items you own are not portable. Upon learning that the barter system is very effective, the currency underwent certain modifications. The first formal money was created around 110 BC. In the year 250 AD, a gold-plated Florence currency was launched and adopted across Europe from 1680 until 1980. Paper currency grew in prominence and was used globally. This history may be used to track the emergence of modern currency as we know it. Modern currency consists of credit cards, digital wallets, and paper currency. Consider Apple Pay, Amazon Pay, Pay, PayPal, etc. as examples. Everything is controlled by governments and banks. This implies that a centralized regulating organization determined how paper currency and credit cards would now function. Consider purchasing anything online. You are thanking your body for covering the cost of your dinner and promising to transfer the money to their account. Despite the fact that this transaction was completed successfully, there were a few potential concerns. There may have been a technical problem afflicting the bank. For example, it is possible that the machinery, tools, and other equipment were not operating correctly. Consequently, the bank is a single point of failure. The accounts of the users may have been compromised due to the DDoS attack, identity theft, or exceeding the account's transfer limitations. As a consequence, cryptocurrencies represent the future of money. Imagine a future conversation between two people. One of them has the Bitcoin app, and when they attempt to send 5 Bitcoins, they get a confirmation message. If so, processing occurs here. Among other things, we verify that users are who they claim to be and have sufficient funds to complete the transaction. After completion, the funds are transferred and received. All of this occurs in a matter of minutes. And it really is that simple. There are no limitations on the amount of funds you may transfer. Your accounts cannot be hacked, and there is no single point of failure as of 2018. As a result, all issues associated with contemporary banking are eradicated. There are now over 1,600 available cryptocurrencies. Every day, a new cryptocurrency is developed, such as Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Zcash. Given their current pace of growth, there is a significant probability that they will see even more expansion in the next few years. What are cryptocurrencies exactly? A cryptocurrency is a kind of digital or virtual currency that is used as a medium of exchange. Now, despite the absence of a physical form, cryptocurrencies are quite similar to regular money. In order to work as it does, it also employs cryptography. There is a maximum number of units that may exist for cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. This is limited to 21 million units. After this, no more Bitcoins will be generated. Now, the transfer of money is easily verifiable. Bitcoin's hashing mechanism make it simple for users to determine if a transaction is legitimate or not. They operate independently from banks and regulating bodies. They work autonomously. Once a few conditions have been met, further units may be added. In the case of Bitcoin, for instance, the miner will not get compensation until a block has been uploaded to the network. Only via this process may new Bitcoins be generated. What's the crypto in cryptocurrencies? Crypto or cryptography is a way of securing communication in the presence of third parties with malicious intent via the use of encryption and decryption. This phrase now refers to third parties that want to steal your information to eavesdrop on your chat. Cryptography employs computational methods such as SHA-256, the hashing algorithm used by Bitcoin, a public key which is similar to the user's digital identity and which he shares with everyone, and a private key which is his digital signature and which he conceals. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.